we will be crowning a new, ideally, I don't know, I'm not really sure, a new World Heavyweight Champion between CM Punk and Jey Uso. We talked about this match last week briefly, as far as it coming together, if it's the right match to do. The whole Jey Uso fatigue among fans right now, and I'm not an anti-Jey Uso guy. We talked about it last week. I'm not off the bandwagon. I just don't think he's the right choice for this match because I don't really care about the idea of him winning back the World Heavyweight Championship, and people don't really love the idea of CM Punk walking out as World Heavyweight Champion either, feeling it's too predictable. So we talked about it last week, Mr. Marceau. I'll ask you again, who walks out here as World Heavyweight Champion if we actually even get a finish? Because there's people saying that we might get a non-finish with the Bronze running in and ruining the finish.
I mean, I hope we don't get that second part. That'd just be really stupid at this point. I think we need a winner. I think no contest we were there for one at fucking TNA and it was terrible. Especially at this magnitude, that you need a winner. I don't know. After Raw and they're back and forth, I feel like I'm leaning Jey. Punk kind of just kept saying, like, what are you going to do are you going to do whatever it takes to win? Like, and I feel like maybe he will. I don't know if we'll get Jimmy helping him. Does he realign with Paul Heyman and get an assist from the Bronze and we get heel Jey? I don't know. Like, Punk just kept saying, are you going to have what it takes to, like, are you going to do whatever it takes to win? And I feel like he kept saying it so much that it got in my head that, like, there's a chance that Jey turns heel and he wins the belt. So I'm going to go with Jey, honestly.
So you think Jey will win? Is that something you want to see? Do you think right now is the right time for a heel Jey Uso, not even just a heel Jey Uso, but a heel Jey Uso as World Heavyweight Champion just months after he dropped the championship back to Gunther?
Probably not. I mean, he's so over right now still with, like, the actual crowd. I know, like, the internet fans and people on Twitter and stuff are kind of sick of him, but I mean, if you watch Raw every week, I mean, they're still popping as loud as they did before. He's moving a ton of merchandise. So I think, like, in that front, no, but I don't know. Also with Punk, similar to Rollins, I just love him. And, like, he's better in chase mode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I said before, I just don't think, like, I don't know. Like, if we're just Punk wins, then we just get him versus the Bronze. Like, we already knew that was coming anyways. And talk about predictability. Like, that was kind of where it was going before. And then they weren't in this match and they gave us Jey instead. So, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's the greatest thing, but I mean, it's definitely different. People always complain that it's too predictable and da-da-da-da. Well, this is not really predictable and it's a totally different thing that we could think of. So I'm just going to go with Jey. I just have a feeling he's going to win.
You did mention that all roads probably lead to the Bronze regardless, which I agree with. The whole report was, I forgot who had said it, but I think the idea was that they did not want to put the belt on Breakker on a show like Saturday Night's Main Event when they can wait for a bigger stage. And honestly, I think that's the biggest issue with the Triple H regime. Maybe not the biggest issue, but one of the big issues where they feel like they have to wait for a bigger stage, which I would normally agree with. I know it's his first World Heavyweight Championship, but Braun Breakker has been fucking ready. And some people, some of the biggest stars of all time, have won their first championships on small-ass shows. The fucking Undertaker won his first world title this Tuesday in Texas. People have won their first world championships on Raw and SmackDown before. I don't really think Braun Breakker needs to win it at WrestleMania. The man looked like a fucking natural with that belt in his hand, walking into Raw last week before having to give it to Adam Pearce. Would you just pull the trigger on Braun Breakker right now, or do you agree with the mindset that they should wait until a WrestleMania to do it?
I mean, I wouldn't wait till WrestleMania to do it. I mean, I think bigger show. I mean, I think it would be one of the bigger, what's the actual PLE? I mean, this is kind of like a Saturday night special. I don't know. Like, honestly, like, people keep saying, like, Breakker's the guy. I don't know. I never was really a huge fan of his IC run, so I feel like people will turn on him very quickly after he wins the main belt.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I feel like people are saying put the belt on Braun until we actually get it. But, like, I understand, but like you said, if they put it on Punk or Jey just to lose it to Braun at, like, Survivor Series, then what the fuck are we doing at this point? Like,
they should have just put the belt on Braun to begin with, I think.
3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Exactly. At that point, just put it on him. I mean, it's like I said, I'm pretty sure Survivor Series is in 3 or 4 weeks. So, like, someone's going to win the belt on November 1st or 2nd, and they're going to lose the belt in 3 weeks. That's just dumb.
Yeah. No, that's a complete
Like I said,
waste.
unless it goes a different direction. So, like I said, I don't know. I'm going with Jey. I don't know who you're picking, but that's what I'm going with.
I'm going to go with Punk. I think Punk's the better pick. I know he's more predictable, but I don't think, like people have said, like when this match was made, that Punk was the predictable choice. I think he does have a better chance of winning, but it's really not as predictable. I mean, the fact you're even picking Jey and you're not the only one tells me it's not like predictable. I think there's a very real possibility, especially based off the stuff they said on Monday, like you said, where it's like, oh, you can't get it done. I don't believe in you, blah, blah, blah. That they could do the whole story they did from WrestleMania again, but this time it's Jey Uso winning it as a heel and not necessarily as a babyface. Now, I think I said this last week, but if Jey does win, I said this last week, but if Punk wins, if Gunther comes back soon, which he should be, I know he's probably working with Cena at the December Saturday night's main event, but you can run back Punk and Gunther because they had a very brief feud over the summer. Punk and LA Knight would intrigue me far more than LA Knight and Jey Uso personally. But you could do that feud. I doubt LA Knight even sniffs the World Championship, but still, it's an idea that would make sense. You mentioned Punk and the Bronze. I'd rather see Punk working with them because he has not had singles matches yet with Breakker or Reed than Jey Uso, who has worked with both guys multiple times. Jey Uso has worked with every person I just mentioned several times over, so that's why him winning the championship to me just doesn't make sense. But if Jey Uso does win the belt, what do you think the end game is there? Is it him just holding it for a couple of months or maybe even a month? Like you said, maybe Survivor Series. But let's say he holds on to it a little bit longer than that. Does he drop it to, God forbid, Roman Reigns or something? Like, where do you think they're going with the character arc currently for Jey Uso, and where would you want to see it go?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like it all depends on if he turns heel or not. I mean, I think if you're turning him heel, he should win. I mean, we keep getting him and Jimmy's conflicted, obviously. Like maybe, like you said, I mean, they just did it at Halloween Havoc. Maybe Jimmy comes in trying to cost Jey the belt and actually misses and costs Punk, like Paxley and Dame. I mean, you could run that back and then you kind of get like, now Jay's the top dog and then maybe Jimmy's like the right-hand man for the time being. I think there's just more, like you said, I think you go right at him in LA Knight. I mean, he'd probably beat LA Knight, but I mean, at least it's something. But I think all roads lead to Jey going heel, but it just depends on how much they like money, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, even if it is more interesting, this is why I say give him an edge, but don't turn him heel, because the exact reason, like you said, he's still super over and selling a lot of merch. I'm not really sure why you would turn him full-blown heel. I mean, I guess it would make his character more interesting, but you can teeter into those waters without fully going into it. But I when I was mentioning potential opponents for both guys,
I mean, I guess something like that though. But like, one's it like you said, one's if someone else costs like Punk to win. It's not technically like I said, one's if Jimmy like was trying to get like once he tries to hit Jey and he accidentally hits Punk.
Yeah,
and then Jey wins. Like it's not like he technically didn't turn heel. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
that would be fine. I mean,
so,
I don't want to see
so,
it.
Like, you're still tweening for a little bit.
Yeah.
I know. You want Punk to win, and then we get predictability, and we'll move on.
It's just, well, listen, notice how in all the people I said that Punk would be working with and Jey would be working with, I did not mention Jimmy, because the last thing we need is another Jey and Jimmy match. I mean, can we just agree that even if Jey does turn heel, even if the roles would be reversed, I guess, with Jimmy as the babyface this time, we do not need another Jey and Jimmy match. That would just be abysmal. I have no interest in that once, especially for the World Heavyweight Championship.
No, I'll give it another run back. I mean, I think their first match was really bad. And I also just think that the problem with that, I think we said at the time, the problem with that match, the biggest problem with that match was that Jimmy was not over. Like, no one cared about heel Jimmy Uso.
Yep.
So no one gave a shit. So like, the match in ring wise wasn't that great, but like at least if they both were over in their respective sides, like I think people would have gave it more of a pass. But no one cared about Jimmy, so we're like, wow, this is terrible.
Fair point. I think it would be a better dynamic with Jey as the heel, oddly enough, because people actually care about Jey and no one gave a shit about Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy never won shit, so him being beaten by Jey meant nothing. And the match itself was very boring. I don't think the quality of the match would be much different than it was at WrestleMania, to be honest with you. But, I mean, I guess I would rather, I hate to say this, but I'd rather see that over a heel bloodline again. Like, do you think all roads lead to Jey and Jimmy and maybe even Roman getting back there as a heel group, or do we get heel Jey and baby? I mean, I say quote unquote babyface Roman. He's not really a babyface. He's just kind of an asshole regardless, but people cheer him now. I mean, I don't really want that to be the Mania match. Whatever they're doing with Jey, I don't really want them to have this drag out till Mania where Roman's wasting a Mania match on Jey Uso when he can work with Breaker instead or Punk one-on-one or almost anyone else.
The Jey Uso hate is crazy.
I love Jey, but I'm being honest.
A match against Jey, the wasting is disrespectful, honestly.
We've already seen it.
Yeah. So running back again. Oh no, we only saw Brock and fucking Roman 17 times. I mean, the dynamics also change. If Jay's heel and Roman's a babyface, it's a totally different dynamic. Like I said, I don't think you want to fully turn him right now. Like I said, I know people on the internet don't like him or are fatigued by Jey, but the crowds are not. I watch Raw every fucking week.
Mm-hmm.
So like they probably should, like I said, if they are. I mean, I will say they kind of have to get shit or get off the pot eventually because he's like, oh, you know, like got all this going on and he's kind of a heel or he's getting an edge, but he's not. He loses. Like, I get that. Like, you kind of have to. He has to get in one lane. You're either a babyface or a heel. Like, this whole like tweener shit's starting to kind of. I think if anything, that for me, that's kind of the fatigue right now. Like, he's either a heel or face. So let's get there and let's move on. But I mean, I wouldn't hate him and Roman. I mean. Unless Jey won, I don't really know what would get out of it. Like, what's Roman get out of beating Jey again? But
yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. But like you said, I don't know. Like, you're gonna have Breaker just beat Roman. Like, but if Breaker's the champion, he wouldn't. Well, I guess he could face Roman because that's kind of where they're going. But
yeah,
I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see.
A lot of different directions they can go in, but you know, Johnny said, "How about a ladder match between Jimmy and Jey?" I think that would make it better. I think. You know, I think what you said about the match being better because the roles are reversed, I think makes sense because people actually give a shit about Jey and people care more about Jimmy as a babyface than as a heel. You make it I mean, we just see so many ladder matches, it doesn't even matter anymore. But I do think that match would be better with a stipulation. I don't think doing a regular match with Jimmy and Jey, who are not known for being like mat technicians, would be the best idea. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I kind of like. I mean, like you said, I couldn't. When's the last time we saw like a ladder match? I mean, just a one-on-one ladder match in WWE. I feel like usually it's a fucking Home Depot special. So, I mean, honestly, between two brothers, there's real animosity. I don't hate it. But yeah, I think any kind of stip would be better than just a one-on-one match.
No, I agree with that. New mention after the embarrassing match they had at Mania, it was worse than Seth and The Fiend to Hell in the Cell 2019. Let's not go that far. I mean, that was one of the worst matches in company history.
I was saying that's not.
Jey and Jimmy was not good, but it was an underwhelming Mania match, but it was not worse than that literally killed off a big portion of their fan base for a while after that match was over. So let's not go quite that far. But Fresh Fly mentioned it's the internet crowd that's tired of Jey and the arenas like him. That's why Triple H continues to book him. I mean, yes and no. The thing with Jey Uso, it's just that I want to make this clear. I don't not like Jey. I get why they're pushing him. And to RJ's point, he's extremely over, and I think he's one of the better characters on the show. And I like Jey. And I think his rise to the World Heavyweight Championship in Mania, not that we were the only two, but me and Mr. Marceau were among those that were defending that decision because it made fucking sense. He was a great Rumble winner. We got that great moment out of it at WrestleMania. And the title one that came out of it was perfectly fine. I had no issue with any of that. I just have an issue with going right back to him in this role right now when it feels too soon. I think you could tell this whole story with Jey outside of the world title picture. And Rollins getting hurt kind of fucked up the whole thing because Jey probably would have never won the World Heavyweight Championship around now had it not been for Rollins getting hurt. But we'll see what they do. Maybe Jey wins.
Well, yeah.
Becomes, which I get. But, I mean, they have to pivot. I just don't think Jey is the strongest fit. I would rather they just go to Breaker immediately.
The problem realistically is too, it's not like him. I mean, I know no one's really pointing this out. I guess one of the problems I think people aren't really looking at, especially in the Raw side of things, a lot of their top guys, they aren't spring chickens here. I mean, you got Punk, he's got to be in his 40s. I'm assuming Jey Uso's probably in his late 30s, early 40s. I mean, LA Knight's in his 40s. I mean,
yep.
Rollins is in his mid to late 30s. Like, you got a lot of older guys. So, like I said, even with Jey, like, if there is, I guess, some money or longevity in a possible heel turn, like you said, maybe, like, it's kind of like, it's not like they have years down the line to hold on to this shit. Like, I feel like a lot of these things, like, you kind of have to pull trigger if there's a chance, because most of these guys' days in the ring are numbered.
I agree with all of that, but that's exactly why they should have put LA Knight in this spot. I mean, the guy's not getting any younger. He hasn't won a world championship yet.
But the thing is, I've kind of accepted that they're just not pushing LA Knight, unfortunately.
No, I've accepted that too, but the problem, we shouldn't be accepting it, because it should be normal that he should be in the spot of world heavyweight champion. I mean, Fernando even said, what's going on? He said, Jay's not the only guy who's over. I don't understand the whole poor Jay garbage. I mean, he's right. I mean, I think pushing Jay makes sense. It's not like you don't push Jey Uso, but you can also push other people at the same time. LA Knight really should have been in this spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but LA Knight's not related to Roman Reigns.
He's not an NOI, you mean?
I mean, literally, unfortunately, if he was Samoan descent, he'd have championship by now. I mean, like you said, if you want to go strictly on overness, like the fact that he hasn't really got like a main title, he hasn't even got a main title run at all. Like,
nope.
It is criminal, but I mean, I think this is what you got to think. A lot of people, I feel like, accepted it for a while, because obviously when he did get called up originally, it was like the whole Max Dupree and like Triple H let him be LA Knight, and kind of like, so I think that did garner a lot. But at this point, like I said with Jay, like, you got to shit or get off the pot. Like, he's going to win the belt or he's not. I mean, the fact that he's still over is crazy to me, because like you said, he's lost so many times. But like, I don't know. I'm saying, like, he needs to win. I mean, like, at this point, he's just a B+ player. Like, he's like, unless he's the one to beat Dominic, which I don't really care to see him as IC champion. I just don't know what else you do with him.
You're talking about LA Knight and not Jey Uso, right?
LA Knight specifically,
yeah. Okay, I was going to say, because Jey Uso, at least, like, we had this conversation about Jey last year, but at least he did win the world title. He did win the Royal Rumble.
Correct.
He does have accolades. LA Knight has none of that. I mean, he did win the U.S. Championship a few times, but like, he hasn't gotten a one-on-one shot at the World Championship on a pay-per-view. Jey Uso had multiple times, even before this run that he got in 2025. So, yeah, I mean, I've accepted it too. I've just accepted it. But the guy, it is honestly shocking. It's astounding to me. He is as over as he still is, given the way he's been booked in the past calendar year. I don't see that changing. I don't see his booking changing. His popularity might start to wane because they start booking him more like a loser with no direction. But it is astounding to me as well. I'll just leave it at that with LA Knight. And turning him heel, I mean, Johnny mentioned turning him heel. That would be something, but it's like they're already turning Jey Uso heel, and LA Knight is just equally as over. You don't turn both guys heel, but we know LA Knight can work as a heel, but they really should have put the belt on him as a babyface. I don't know. It is what it is.